A Little Romance is the 11th episode of the second season of Full House, and this is a pretty great episode. So there will be spoilers, as always, as I go through the episode and mention things that I liked. And I have to say, Becky is just shining in this episode in more ways than one. I absolutely loved it. It starts off okay with the guys singing to Michelle, and then we're in the kitchen, and Michelle comes in with this giant bread loaf or breadstick or baguette. And then the main part of the narrative is established, and this is the fact that Becky is hosting an eligible bachelor charity auction, and she ropes Jesse, Joey, and Danny into it, even though some of them are more enthusiastic than others. And they appear a few scenes later all in their suits and they look amazing. They look so dapper and handsome. Jesse's trousers have got stripes down them to give it a little bit more personality and they look fantastic. But then Jesse opens the door, or somebody opens the door, and it's Becky. And the reveal of Becky's outfit, Lori Loughlin is gorgeous anyway, but she was stunning in this episode. Absolutely incredible, so beautiful. And that reveal was just fabulous. And then we do have a narrative with DJ, but I'll circle back to that once we've dealt with the auction. Once we get to the auction, of course, Becky is auctioning off the guys one by one. We have Joey. Things go quite well for Joey. And then Danny. Danny is very nervous. He talks into his rose. I thought his performance was really good. And then we have Jesse. And needless to say, pretty much all of the women in the room start bidding on Jesse. And this one woman bids, I think, $1,000. And then she walks up onto stage, which I'm pretty sure is not what you're meant to do. But in this moment of jealousy, Becky bids 1,100 and it just escalates and goes up from there. And clearly Becky is desperate to not let anybody else date Jesse. And clearly we have evidence here that she likes him a lot. And I kind of laughed because later on in the episode, when they go back home, Jesse's father points out to her that she paid $1,700 when he would have went out with her for free. And I found that to be rather amusing. So I really like that part of the episode. And of course we have, this is obviously a big spoiler, as I said, at the very end of the episode, we have this wonderful kiss between Jesse and Becky. And then the most wonderful thing happens. Michelle walks in and says, "Have mercy." And it's just the cutest thing ever. So that part of the narrative worked really, really well. As I said, we have some of the narrative focusing on DJ. She has her first boyfriend, kind of. It's a kid called Michael, and she agrees to meet him by the bike racks. And then once he gives her a friendship bracelet, it's very sweet. All of DJ's friends seem to just pop out from behind the bushes. I will say they were very cleverly concealed. I didn't see that they were there, and it was very well done. Slightly creepy. And to be honest, when they kind of popped out, my first thought was, this is a prank. They've set DJ up. But it wasn't. Her friends were just very enthusiastic. And things are going well. DJ's very happy. And Michael comes over and they're doing homework. And then Michael says something not very nice. And I don't think he meant to be not nice. But it really hurt DJ. And I can imagine it would hurt anybody because DJ asks him if he wants to sit with her at lunch the next day. And he says he can't because he's sitting next to another girl in their class. And DJ is confused by this. And he basically says, "You're all of these great things. You're fun and smart, etc. But this other girl is really pretty." Now, I find that to be strange for two reasons. Strange because it's horrible and not something anybody should ever say. I mean, he can say the other girl is pretty, but not when it implies that DJ isn't. But the other thing is that I think DJ is gorgeous. I have such insane hair envy. She's really beautiful. So I mean, what the other girl must look like, I've got no idea. But I find it strange because she is genuinely really pretty. But obviously DJ starts to worry that boys will never like her because she's not pretty, and that's going to hurt. The guys, when they get back from the auction, try to make her feel better, but in a moment of madness, Danny decides to try and tell her the story of the ugly duckling. Never do that. I know the intention was good to say that you might be ugly now, you'll grow up to be gorgeous, but again, there's nothing ugly about DJ. And there's this really wonderful moment and kind of emotional moment where Becky steps in and gives her a heart to heart, woman to woman, if you like. And it's another one of those moments where we really feel the absence of DJ's mother. And to have somebody who can relate to her and talk about boys, Becky is a great character for that. I don't want to talk about too much about what Becky brings in future episodes, but certainly here, I thought it was a really sweet moment and a great thing. Becky tells DJ that her mother, when she was younger, made her list all of the great things about herself, all of her positive qualities, and she makes DJ do the same. And DJ does mention her great hair. Candace Cameron's hair is just ridiculous. It's so gorgeous. I love it, and I genuinely would love to have her hair black. I'd have to dye it. I still want the black hair, but it is beautiful. And I feel like it's a great thing that anybody watching it can either do themselves or tell their own children to do, to think about your own positive qualities. Because while we often may hate ourselves or feel bad about ourselves, we all have good qualities. And this episode helps to bring that into the forefront. And I really enjoyed that part of it and thought it was very effective. So in all, it's a really great episode. It's a really good DJ episode, DJ being one of my favourite characters, but also a really brilliant Becky episode. I love Lori Loughlin, I love Becky as a character. I don't want to talk too much about Becky in future episodes because I don't want to spoil it, but what I will say is she's a brilliant character, brilliantly written, brilliantly acted. The costume in this, I just can't get over it. It's so stunning, and even without that, it would have been a brilliant episode, but it made me smile. Definitely a really strong episode. No complaints from me at all.